So a couple of weeks ago I renovated my entire lawn. It was looking awful. So I did a heavy overseeding. I renovated everything, and looking at it now, it looks pretty okay. Well, it looks pretty decent, to be honest. But if you get close up, you can actually see that I have some bare spots here and there. Some areas are a bit thin, and in the front where I have Kentucky bluegrass, which is so slow to germinate, as you can see, I have several bare spots. But I don't want to stop mowing this, because mowing it will make it thicken up quicker. It will make it spread, and those thinner areas will quickly fill in. But some areas where it is just too thin, I do want to overseed a bit. But if I just throw down seed now and top dress everything, then I have to wait, I have to water the lawn every day, and I can't mow it, because as soon as the grass seeds germinate, then I have to stop, because then the overseeding is everywhere. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna do a patch repair. So I've done this in several videos, and I love doing it this way because it will save you a lot of time and a lot of water and a lot of headache out on the lawn. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly what to do, and it's really easy. Now you just have to kind of go by feel how much you need. Just look at the bare spots you have and just kind of estimate how much you might need. Now I think I need quite a bit in the front and on the side, so I'm going to use most of the top dress for that. And then you take your seeds, and it's hard to estimate this as well. I usually use more than I need to, I think. And this is straight Kentucky bluegrass, so this one will take a while to germinate. And then you just mix everything. Now ideally I would have worn gloves for this. But it's always nice to get your hands dirty once in a while, right? I'm just trying to make sure I break up all the pieces that are clumped together. And for the backyard, where I don't have as much bare patches to fix, I'm just gonna do it in this bucket. Now I wish I had more top dress, because that was less than I had planned. Let me just see if I have more top dress. I actually did have one more bag. But I have to say, I usually buy my top dress from a special brand called Rölunda. I've used it for many years. It's always been awesome. But lately I feel like all the top dresses are just getting worse and worse. There's just so much crap in them. I'm not sure if I am unlucky getting a bad batch, but it's been like this for the past couple of years actually. So I'm thinking about actually leaving top dress altogether and just using just pure soil, because it's just so much crap in it. All right, so for the bucket, I'm just gonna use straight creeping red fescue, no ryegrass at all, because I don't want the ryegrass to start sprouting in 2 days, and then it takes the fescue another 5-6 days, and it becomes uneven. So I'm just gonna use pure creeping red fescue, which this lawn now is. It used to be pure rye. Now I mixed in a lot of creeping red fescue in it as well. And then we mix that up. All right, all that is left to do now is just keep it moist. And since I don't have holes at the bottom of this for the excess water, so I'm gonna be a bit careful when watering this so I don't have water pooling in the bottom. But it will be interesting, since I did a pre-germination just with the seeds when I did my overseeding. After 2 days, I had germination in the creeping red fescue in just the bag. And after 5 and maybe even 6 days, I still had nothing sprouting or germinating, no action at all from the Kentucky bluegrass. It's Kentucky bluegrass. It's not in a hurry to get anywhere. But still, I thought I would have some action after 5 days. So we'll see how this does. How many days this takes. Because it's the same here. As soon as you see it sprouting, cracking open, it's almost like cotton candy at the top. Before the actual roots and the sprout comes out, that's when you want to put it out. So you have to keep a close eye on this every day. As soon as you see it, I mean, you can't say, well, I don't have it, I'll do it tomorrow. I did that a couple of times, and it's a big mess as soon as it sprouts. No matter if you pre-germinate like this or if you pre-germinate in just straight water, it's always a mess as soon as it germinates. And that's it. I'm just gonna leave it out in the sun, and then I'm gonna come out every now and then, just make sure it's nice and moist. I mean, this is a whole lot easier than just putting it out on the lawn, putting top dress on it, and then keeping that moist everywhere on your lawn. And every time you mow, you have to be careful when you walk over it. So this is much easier. All right, so we'll check back as soon as I see germination, and then we'll put it out on the lawn. So I'll see you guys then. So it's been about 4 days since I pre-germinated the seeds, and I think I'm starting to see some action from the creeping red fescue. So I thought I will show you how it looks. And by the way, I just mowed the lawn. Isn't it looking awesome? Even though I said I have some thin areas or something, from afar it still looks pretty okay. And the area I said is too thin, I mean, you see it's starting to thicken up, but I really do want to add seeds around the edges, and over in that corner I have a bare spot. All right, so let's have a look at the seeds and I'll show you what I mean. Can you see that they are just starting to sprout? You can see some white stuff sticking out. Now this is maybe even a day too much. I really don't want to wait any more than this. Otherwise it's going to be a mess to get this out. And one thing to think about, I mean, this has been on top, and I mean, you can't get everything underneath the soil. There will always be seeds on top, and they won't sprout as well. So just remember always to dig in. As you get further down in your bucket, it gets warmer, so it germinates faster down there. So just make sure you dig underneath it. Don't just look at the top. All right, so it's time to get this out, and I'll show you how I do it. These roots, by the way, this is not the grass seeds. So this is probably some weeds, either from the top dress or it was mixed in the seeds. And by the way, both the seed and the top dress manufacturer, they promise that their stuff is weed free. So you can't always go by what they promise. This is not grass, this is some sort of weed. So even though they say it's 100% weed free, you can never be sure. All right, let's get this out. All right, so this is one of the areas I had. So I'm just gonna take this and just spread it across. Since I prepped here just before I seeded a couple of weeks ago with scarifying and everything, I don't feel like I need to cultivate the soil. But if you do, if it's pretty hard, then you can take something like this. Now there should be a handle on this, but I haven't gotten a handle yet. So I just take this by hand, and then you can just lightly cultivate the soil a bit. But this will kind of break up any hard soil you have, giving the seeds a better chance to latch on with the roots. And then I'll just lightly rake it around just to get an even distribution, so I don't have any spots with a lot of seed and soil. So I just spread that evenly. And also you kind of help the grass underneath to get out from the soil, so you don't cover it. And then if it's a smaller area, you don't need a garden roller, you can just step on it like this. Now over here, I think I have a necrotic ring, or I don't know if it's called fairy rings. I think fairy rings are a bit bigger. I think this is called a necrotic ring. I haven't noticed it before, and it might be something that came in with some top dress, or I don't know. But usually these, the only thing you can do, I've tried watering down some stuff that said it would help, but I felt it never helped. I had 2 of these over there in the garden before, but you kind of mask the issue, kind of seed around it, you make sure you fertilize well, you keep the grass healthy, and it will disappear on its own in time. All right, let's just continue on, cultivating the soil a bit. Now we step on it. All right, and that's kind of it. I mean, you don't have to do anything else than that. It's super easy. All right, I've done all the areas. Of course, even I ran out. I still had a few more spots that I wanted to do, but the bucket just wasn't enough. And I only have 1 wheelbarrow, so what are you gonna do? And this is what I mean. I thought this would be more than enough, and I still have a few spots left and I ran out. So always plan to make more than you think you need, because you always do this and halfway through you realize that you needed twice as much. Now all that is left to do is just water this in, and then you're done. Not much more to it. And this is a whole lot easier. You gain a few days of watering and babying it along, and then I only have these spots to water every day. I don't need to go around watering the entire lawn. So this is perfect all year round, especially now since we have summer coming. I don't want to do a big seeding project, because if it gets too hot then I can't water it and we get watering bans. Or if you're late in the season and you have a few bare spots you want to fix, then this is perfect. This is hands down the fastest way to repair bare spots. I'll show you the update in another video in the future. There's no point in me waiting a week or two for this to germinate and then show you again. Trust me, it works. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It does help me a lot when you do. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but I do care about it. But it does really help the channel a lot if you like the videos and you subscribe. All right, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.